All right, while I've got time off today, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about something I've mentioned in a couple of my other videos, and that's this motor vehicle theft prevention program. So I've mentioned that if you Google this and look it up, it'll bring you to the Cornell Law website, and it will explain this program to you, and it sounds oddly familiar for anybody who drives a car, goes to the DMV, puts their state plates on their car, pays every year. And for those of us living in California, we have insane registration fees. And if you drive a truck, they make it exponentially worse because you're supposedly causing more damage to the roads. This money, is it supposed to go to fixing the roads? Because our roads are horrible up here in South Lake Tahoe. So I had a hard time paying that, especially because we don't live in this country year round. We are, I would say most of the time in Costa Rica. We're like 6 months in Costa Rica, about 4.5 months maybe in Tahoe, and then Arizona traveling in those shoulder seasons. So my truck sits in the garage for like almost 8 months out of every year. And you can't just put your car on non-op and then take it off and they only charge you for the amount of usage. No. They want the whole amount. So the non-op thing is a scam, in my opinion. Well, the whole DMV is a scam. And haven't you always like felt like something, well, maybe not in Tahoe. Tahoe, the DMV is actually a very pleasant experience. There's like nobody in there. I shouldn't tell people that. But the DMV in like the San Francisco Bay Area is a complete and utter friggin' nightmare. You spend your whole day, you have to take a whole day off of work to be there, and you're treated like the worst treatment ever. There's no customer service, and you feel forced to be there. Like it's insane. It's complete insanity. So now you want to get pissed off? Go read this motor vehicle theft prevention program and just see how fired up you really get. And you might join me in not wanting to pay for your registration. So I'm actually going to take you guys through that website right now. So I'm gonna stop the video and flip it around because I don't know how to screen share. I'm new to this whole techie thing and making videos and editing them and everything. So I'm doing the best I can. But I do want to walk you guys through this and show you what it is that I'm talking about, and then give you guys some direction on what steps to take and where to go forward. Okay, sound good? All right, hopefully y'all can see this and the glare is not too bad. So up here in the top corner, you can see I typed in motor vehicle theft prevention program, and then it's an ad at the top, but if you scroll down, here it is, 34 U.S. Code section 12611, motor vehicle theft prevention program. We're going to click on this. This brings us to the Cornell Law School. 34, I think it's Title 34, U.S. Code 12611, motor vehicle theft prevention program. And then just read this, guys. The owner of a motor vehicle may voluntarily sign a consent form with a participating state or locality in which the motor vehicle owner may. So this is DMV. This is you going to the DMV. A, states that the vehicle is not normally operated under certain specified conditions. Okay. B, agrees to display program decals, aka your plates, your stickers. 2, permit law enforcement officials in any state to stop the motor vehicle and take reasonable steps to determine whether the vehicle is being operated by or with the permission of the owner, if the vehicle is being operated under the specified conditions. So this is them saying, I need to see your driver's license, and you'll even hear them say sometimes, well, I need to make sure that the vehicle isn't stolen. They don't know that they are operating in this capacity. They are not trained that they're operating in this capacity. They are lied to as well. So don't be too hard on the law enforcement. And that's the hardest part in these law enforcement encounters, which I've only had one so far with my passport card, but trying to keep your cool because, you know, they don't know. Participating states and localities authorize law enforcement officials in the state or locality to stop motor vehicles displaying those program decals under specified conditions and take reasonable steps to determine whether the vehicle is being operated by or with the permission of the owner. Let's see. Oh, the uniform design shall be highly visible and explicitly state that the motor vehicle to which it is affixed may be stopped under the specified conditions without additional grounds for establishing a reasonable suspicion that the vehicle is being operated unlawfully. So this is where, like in those First Amendment audit videos, when they're always saying like, you have no reasonable articulable suspicion, RAS. They don't need it. They honestly don't need it. You've already signed saying, please pull me over. Okay, voluntary consent form. The voluntary consent form used to enroll in the program shall, 1, clearly state that participation in the program is voluntary. Did you feel that you were informed that it was voluntary? I didn't. So that's where I say it's fraud. 2, clearly explain that participation in the program means that if the participating vehicle is being operated under the specified conditions, law enforcement officials may stop the vehicle and take reasonable steps to determine whether it's being operated by or with the consent of the owner, even if the law enforcement officials have no other basis for believing that the vehicle is operated unlawfully. And here's opinion. I'm just going to insert some opinion here. This is where I think that they allow the whole reasonable articulable suspicion thing to play out because they don't want us to realize this. If they just flat out said this, people will question it and say, but what about our Constitution? And that's where I say we've already like signed away our constitutional rights. So that's where I feel like they let the waters be muddy a little bit just so that we don't expose the complete fraud that this system is. It's kind of like with the court systems. They don't tell us that they're operating under admiralty law or maritime law. They make it seem like it's all legit, but it's not. And then if you start questioning too much, the judge will like run out of the room and the court proceedings will just halt all of a sudden. Okay. 3, include an express statement that the vehicle is not normally operated under specified conditions. Sufficient grounds for prudent law enforcement officer reasonably believe that the vehicle was not being operated by the consent of the owner. Okay. Okay. I just encourage you to go and read all of this and see if there's anything in here that says that like there's no way that this could be DMV, because to me I can't find anything like that. New condition without consent. After the program has begun, the conditions under which a vehicle may be stopped if affixed is with a certain decal or device design may not be expanded without the consent of the owner. A state or locality need not authorize the stopping of motor vehicles under all sets of conditions specified under the program in order to participate in the program. So I'm just gonna scroll up here, but again, I encourage you to Google this yourself and get familiar with these laws, okay, or this code. All right, now what I have done is put diplomatic plates on my car, and I chose diplomatic plates through the Amnesty Coalition, but there are many ways to do this. Coalition. So on here, resources and documents. Merch store. It might be in the merch. Oh, here we go. Diplomatic, automobile plates, and diplomat passport. So here's where you buy the Amnesty plates and passports. So plates and gear. And that is what my plate looks like. So the number on my plate is a private motor carrier number, which you can find it through this Amnesty Coalition or don'tbeaslave.com. I don't need to reinvent the wheel and do a whole nother video on that, but I will try and find it. Let's see, I don't remember how I got there. DOT, let's just look up private motor carrier number and see if it brings us there. Federal Motor Carriage Filings. I think that is it. This FMCSA. Yeah, let's go there. Yeah. So here it says, what is a private motor carrier? A private motor carrier transports its own cargo, usually as a part of a business that produces, uses, sells, or buys the cargo that is being hauled. A private motor carrier transports its own goods and is required to have a US DOT number, but does not need operating authority, an MC number. So that's kind of confusing. I think it's meant to be confusing on purpose, but yeah, you are transporting your own goods. And when I filled this out, at the end of the application process, it even told me I am not required to have insurance. But again, as I've mentioned in other videos, law enforcement is not going to be familiar with any of this. This is not part of their training. They are not in on the secret, if you know what I mean. So they are lied to just as much as we are. They think that they're operating under like the highest moral standards, I think. Some of them, anyway. Some of them know they're corrupt, but I think for the most part, the good cops out there, they believe in what they're enforcing. They don't know that it's a scam. So for insurance, I'm still learning this, but I still have my my truck insured, but I'm in the process of learning the 1099A, which I'm going to grab right now because they just came in the mail. So you can order these from the IRS. Now, if you go online and try and order them, they've like hidden them because too many people are getting these and learning what to do with them, which I'm not even going to get into it because there's so much that you can do with these. But let's see if I can pull one of these forms, which is this one. Oh, this is the 1099C. I haven't totally learned what to do with this one either, but I ordered, I think, 15 copies of that. And then I ordered the 1099A. So, yep, I got like 15 of these as well. So these you can fill out and you can keep them in your glove box. And this will serve as your proof of self-insurance. Basically, it's money in your trust, the trust that we've been lied to about, that is your social security number. They've been trading on your social security number since you were born. They don't want you to know it. That's what's linked to every bill that comes in the all capital name. That's not you. That's your trust. You can look that up under, I mean, you can, there's so much to look into. But like you can look into what all capital names represent and even look up the definition of a person. It can mean a corporation. There's a lot to dive into, but I just wanted to give kind of background on this plate stuff and this motor vehicle theft prevention program. So the other guy that I mentioned in a previous video, part of the freedom movement, that said the path of least resistance is the way to go, he recommends the South Dakota plates, which I don't know if you've heard about this, but like you as a non-South Dakotan, you can register any vehicle through South Dakota. South Dakota, they allow it. And their rates are way lower. So that is a more affordable option if you want to stay in their jurisdiction. But I would encourage you to sign everything without prejudice, which reserves all rights, and even write the UCC 1-308 on anything you're signing in regards to registration, driver's license. With the driver's license, I think you want to do a beneficiary signature, and I can go more into the beneficiary signature in a future video. I'm going to pause and flip this around. So yeah, the beneficiary signature, basically you want to sign in lowercase. You don't want to sign in uppercase, which bugs me because I actually like my name written in uppercase, but I don't want to be confused. I want to be the living, breathing human being that I am. So you do lowercase, first name, hyphen, last name, semicolon. No, wait. First name, hyphen, middle name, semicolon, last name, dash, and you can do BENE or spell out beneficiary. This would go on a lot of documents. The driver's license, you can sign as beneficiary. But again, they're going to try and trap you when you're pulled over. So when you're pulled over, you have to like explain, I don't have a driver's license, the living, breathing human being, but like my trust does. I'm the beneficiary of it. Which Christopher Hauser has a lot of good YouTube videos on that. And if you're gonna study up on Christopher Hauser, he has a Telegram link under his YouTube videos. That is where you go if you want to join his study group. There's a lot of imposters out there that are like faking his identity on a fake book, I call it. So don't think that's the study group. Go through Telegram. I was like hesitant because I wasn't on Telegram, but I finally realized I had to just join Telegram and figure out how to use it, which it's honestly a lot like WhatsApp. So I don't know why I didn't explore that option sooner. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Click subscribe, like, click on the next video. It might even link to one that I've referenced a couple times here. So anyway, I hope you guys find this information helpful. Please comment because I don't know if I'm talking to anyone. So I'm going to keep putting videos out there because I know that this is a strong movement and more people are searching out information. And I just want to share what I've learned because I'm DIYing it. I know I've mentioned in a few videos about the post office incident where they turned down the receiving of my application, and then a guy was waiting for me outside asking me if I was there to correct my status. And he asked me, "Who are you with?" And I was like, because I was with my husband. I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "What organization is helping you with this?" And I was like, I'm just doing it. And he was like, oh, okay, you need an organization. And so he gave me a suggestion, America's Assembly, which I did like go on their website and check around. But honestly, I was like past all that. I did know what I was talking about. I did know what I was doing. I just had to find the right way to do it. And so like the guy that pulled me over on the side of the road to talk about my plates and talk about the passports and stuff, he went all the way to San Francisco to the passport office, which was recommended by some of the educators in this space. But I knew other people had done it at their local post office. So I knew it was possible, and I didn't want to drive all the way to San Francisco, especially because I already had expired tags, sorry. And although you can like get away with that in South Lake Tahoe, I don't know about driving down Highway 80 towards, is it 80 that goes from Sac? Oh my gosh, I've been gone for so long. Anyway, the freeways to the Bay Area, I'm sure I would have gotten pulled over. So I didn't want to go there. So I went to Minden and I called in advance. And the answer when I called in the beginning was no, they don't do it. But I asked enough questions that somehow I unlocked it because all of a sudden it switched to, oh, yep, no problem. Yes, we can handle that for you. And when I went down there, she had no issue with me signing without prejudice. She didn't even mention anything about it. The only issue they had was that my passport photo wasn't the right size because I had gotten it done in Costa Rica. So I had to pay for that again, which whatever, not a big deal. I was so happy she was accepting my application and that was one step closer to freedom. So again, you guys, Copper Moonshine Stills, which the guy that I found in Tahoe that is on the same page and doing the same thing, he also referenced Copper Moonshine Stills. So it works. Like follow Copper Moonshine Stills for your application process. Get those applications in because I want you to be one step closer to freedom, please. The fraud in this system is unbelievable. So get yourselves out of that voluntary motor vehicle theft prevention program. All right. Thank y'all. Have a great day.